Name's Alex Train. I serve as the Chief Operating Officer for La Colaborativa in Chelsea. La Colaborativa is one of the leading Latinx-led nonprofit organizations serving the Metro North area with the goal of enhancing economic and social welfare. Over the last 2 years, in response to rising community instability and neighborhood issues, the organization has really deliberately scaled our youth and young adult economic mobility programming. And so we were pleased to work with the foundation on expanding this young adult career pathway work in order to serve approximately 12 youth and young adults ages 18 to 24 through a combination of hands-on career readiness programming, career exploration, vocational training, as well as job placement support. And so our recruitment strategy is really centered on the barriers that youth and young adults face in the greater community. And so we intentionally work with local school districts, community health centers, the city of Chelsea, as well as private sector partners in order to cast a wide net during recruitment while concentrating on youth and young adults that may not have access to traditional educational pathways. So Chelsea is a community where a lot of youth face barriers to educational attainment due to the cost and accessibility of college education and trades training. And so we've tried to deliberately hone our recruitment pathways to focus on these individuals that are oftentimes overlooked by our conventional systems and don't have access to traditional education. And so that recruitment process entailed a significant on-the-ground civic engagement, attending community events, conducting neighborhood canvassing, working with local institutions to facilitate referrals. And as part of the process, we had a competitive application round that yielded a large pool of candidates who were then screened for eligibility, and those deemed eligible underwent interviews with a panel comprised of our internal staff as well as third-party partners. For instance, partners in local labor unions as well as local companies in order to develop a set of recommended students to participate in the program. We geared up over the course of the summer and progressed into our career readiness and career navigational phase. And that really entails working with young adults to identify both good fit opportunities, but to really broaden their horizons about career possibilities. And so many of the occupations that are of focus are occupations in the clean energy and building trades fields, but they're not necessarily occupations like a carpenter that most people are aware about. And so, during those career navigational exercises, there were a lot of eye-opening moments where students came to the realization that, living wage opportunities were actually available within, short reach. Outside of that, there have been a number of impactful moments that have resonated with us as training has really geared up and students have begun fielding offers from employer partners in order to see the transformation that has had on their livelihoods. But more importantly, their confidence and character as humans has been a really rewarding aspect of the program. Yeah, I think one of the major challenges that we've been grappling with is less locally focused and more of a macro issue. With the federal administration and the general economy, the real estate development field and the clean energy field has hit a number of roadblocks, as you know. And so this has led to companies to reduce the amount of hiring they're conducting in the short term. So it's really forced us to concentrate on vigorously pursuing leads for students, but also broadening some of the existing relationships that we have with partners that are taking a longer view. So for instance, with regards to solar installation, a lot of the hiring in the industry has halted. There's a large amount of work for the next 1 to 2 years, and then everything kind of teeters off. And so those firms have elected not to continue growing. Whereas our union partners, particularly in the building trades, are taking a longer view where the projects that they're working on, take 3 to 5 years to plan before they even begin construction, where these jobs would come into play. And so they're continuing to hire, with the assumption that they can really ride this out and that the market will rebound at some point. So that has really been a challenge that has influenced our, job search approach and how we've approached nurturing partnerships with employers. The one that comes to mind is a student that is a young man born and raised in Chelsea, encountered a number of disciplinary issues while enrolled at Chelsea High School. Ultimately finished his high school education, but was really aimlessly adrift. We didn't have a concrete post-secondary plan, was working low-wage jobs in the retail sector, and that began to weigh on him as a person, but also altered his behavior. And so we've been able to connect him with mental health resources, housing stability support, as well as a variety of wraparound services. And throughout the course of this program thus far, he's been able to rent his first apartment and finally have a stable place to live. And so that's really one of those concrete examples of how these types of programs, I think, can make a meaningful impact even in the short term. And beyond those economic effects, there have been a number of students who have just experienced improvements with regards to confidence and defined purpose, and have emerged really as young leaders that we're hoping to continue to encourage. Our strategic goals right now are to continue expanding this portfolio. And so one of the objectives over the coming year is to set up new career pathways in a number of different building trades and clean energy occupations. So those include occupations that yield high wage jobs, including equipment operation, offshore wind, and the like. These are programs that are right now undergoing development, but we have a lot of work to do around elevating awareness and forging partnerships with the community. They're arcane positions. They're not necessarily the types of positions folks are aware of. And so we've begun those educational and civic engagement campaigns. At the macro level, the organization's advancing the design of a Center for Economic Development. So a lot of the work that we're doing, including under this grant, we're doing in partnership with community-based organizations and union partners. And so we rely upon those partners, particularly for facilities and specialized equipment. Chelsea doesn't have a workforce training center nor a vocational school. And so as part of this new project, we're designing and redeveloping a vacant site into a workforce training and vocational education center that would allow for the community to have that infrastructure and access locally. And so we recently completed permitting. We're aiming to break ground in mid to late 2026. And so we're really excited, since that would provide us with the foundation to continue expanding these types of programs.